It's closing time at McGowan's pub. The neon lights flicker in the corner of the room, casting long, wavering shadows across the empty stools. The last few patrons have trickled out, leaving only one man in the far corner, nursing his drink. The bartender, Jake, wipes down the counter, glancing over at the solitary figure. The man has been here for hours, always silent, never moving. His face is gaunt, his clothes wrinkled, as though he's been waiting for something. Or someone. But tonight, something feels off. The hairs on Jake's neck stand on end as he watches the man, still staring blankly into his empty glass. Jake tries to shake the unease off and continues cleaning. He's seen plenty of strange things in this bar, but tonight feels different. A cold draft sweeps across the room, making Jake pause. The windows are shut, the doors locked. It doesn't make sense. He turns back to the man. There's something about him, something Jake can't quite place. His reflection in the mirror behind the bar catches Jake's eye. It's not there. Jake's pulse quickens. The man hasn't moved, not even a twitch. Slowly, Jake steps forward, unsure whether to speak or walk away. But as he takes a few more steps, something happens. The man stands up, too slowly, too deliberately. Jake freezes. The man's posture is unnaturally stiff, his movements jerky. But the most terrifying part? His face. It's not a face at all. The skin is pale and cracked. His eyes empty, hollow. The bartender's breath catches in his throat as he realizes the truth. This man has been dead for years. A victim of a bar fight long forgotten by the living. The air around Jake grows colder. The man takes a step forward, his feet dragging. But before Jake can scream, the man vanishes, like smoke in the night air. The only trace left behind is the faint smell of whiskey and the eerie silence that now fills the bar. Jake looks at the empty corner once more. The last patron never left. It's 3 a.m. at a quiet upscale bar in the heart of the city. The night is nearly over, but the bar is far from empty. Claire, the bartender, begins to wipe down the counter, the familiar motion almost mechanical. The clinking of glasses and the murmurs of a few remaining patrons blend into the background. But then, there's a shift in the atmosphere. A woman in the far corner catches Claire's attention. She's been a regular for weeks, always coming alone, always silent. Something about her unsettles Claire. Perhaps it's the way she never speaks to anyone, never engages with the crowd. Or perhaps it's the way she sits there staring at the bar, her eyes piercing the dim light, never once looking away. Tonight, though, she doesn't look up when Claire approaches. Instead, she just sits there, motionless, her red wine untouched. Claire walks toward her, feeling the cold air around her grow thick and heavy. The woman's stillness is unnerving. Claire, trying to shake off the discomfort, calls out softly. But the woman doesn't respond. She's as lifeless as the glass before her. Claire's pulse quickens. The woman has been coming here for weeks, always the same, always at this hour. Yet tonight, it's different. A gust of cold air rushes past Claire. She shivers involuntarily, glancing up at the woman once more. This time, the woman's gaze is fixed on her. But there's something off. The eyes are no longer the same. The depth of them has changed. It's as though they're not just looking at Claire, but through her. And then the woman speaks, her voice a mere whisper, like a memory long forgotten. Claire steps back, her heart racing. The words are chilling. "You don't remember me, do you?" Claire feels a wave of nausea rise in her chest. The woman's eyes widen, her pupils dilating as she slowly lifts a photograph from the table. It's old, yellowed with age. And as Claire looks closer, she sees something impossible. The woman is in the picture, standing next to Claire. Except she's not the same. Her face is pale, distorted. The edges of the photo are blurry, faded in places. The woman's voice drops to a chilling whisper. "I died that night, Claire. You left me." The bar feels colder now. Claire tries to step back, her feet heavy, the weight of the past closing in on her. But as she moves, the woman's figure flickers like a mirage, vanishing into the air. Only the photograph remains on the counter, the woman's ghostly smile forever etched in the glass. The Old Clock Tavern has been around for decades. Tucked away in the heart of the city, it's the kind of place that draws in people who are looking to forget something. The bartenders here don't just serve drinks, they serve memories, regrets, and sometimes even curses. Mike has worked here for over 10 years, and he's seen more than his fair share of strange things. But there's one story that's always haunted him: the legend of the bartender's curse. It's said that anyone who works at the Old Clock Tavern will lose everything: friends, family, even their sanity. The only way to escape the curse is to leave the bar. But no bartender ever does. Tonight, Mike feels it. The air is thick with dread. It's just past midnight and the bar is empty. The few patrons who remain are the usual late-night crowd, tired and quiet. But something is off. The clock above the bar ticks faster than it should. 5 minutes ahead, as always, but tonight, it's different. It ticks with an urgency. The second hand races around the face like time itself is running out. Mike tries to shake off the unease, but then Carl, a regular, stumbles in. His eyes are bloodshot, his movements erratic. Mike raises an eyebrow but says nothing. He's seen Carl like this before. Drunk, lost, but tonight? Tonight, something's different. Carl slurs his words, his hands shaking. "Mike, I think it's happening again," he mutters. His voice cracks, and Mike can hear the fear in it. This isn't just the typical drunk talk. Something is wrong. Carl drops into a chair at the bar, his eyes wide and panicked. "The curse, it's coming for me again, and this time it's worse. I can't escape." Mike freezes, his stomach tightening. He's heard the rumors. The curse of the Old Clock Tavern. Every bartender who's worked here eventually loses everything they love, until they are left with nothing but the bar itself. Carl looks at Mike, his eyes wide with terror. "It's not just me, Mike. It's you, too." Suddenly, the room grows colder, the lights flickering above. Carl's body jerks unnaturally. His eyes roll back in his head, and for a moment, Mike thinks he's going to faint. But it's not the alcohol. It's something else, something darker. Carl's body stiffens, his voice becoming guttural, unnatural. "You can't escape, Mike. Not now, not ever." The clock above the bar ticks faster, louder. The noise is deafening, and Mike can't move. His body feels like it's locked in place, unable to escape. The air is thick with pressure. His chest tightens. And then, Carl is gone. Vanished in the blink of an eye, as though the curse has already claimed him. Mike stands frozen, heart racing, but he knows the truth now. The curse is real, and it's coming for him next.